Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you guys how I usually edit my photos. So let's start first off with my photo in Lightroom. I usually use Lightroom to catalog all my photos and do the tonal correction, white balance, and all the cool stuff, like taking care of blowouts, shadow details, and all that stuff. So first off, let's start with tonal corrections. So this is a little blue. So I'm gonna try to warm it up a little bit. There we go. Take it back a little. Okay. And then we're gonna look for shadows or blowouts where the picture's pure white. Let's see. So there we go. So I'm gonna take down the highlights. Okay. There we go. Alright. Now I'm gonna take it into Photoshop and start editing. So I did a copy with Lightroom adjustments. Here we go. Alright, so first off, I'm going to start off with the curved adjustment layer. Brighten it a little bit. Take the whites down so we're not blowing out. Let's check. So I press Option and then to check if I'm blowing out anything or not. Alright, then we're gonna get a layer and I'm gonna clean up the photo a little bit. I'm gonna use the spot healing brush and let's see, quick edit of the little spots. There we go. Basically anything that would bother me, that would hinder me from looking at the photo and like start nitpicking at it, like, oh, look at that, look at that. So you want to get rid of all that. So it's best to do all this before you actually, like, while you're shooting it, and not be as careless as I was. So to avoid so much editing. Photoshop should not be used as a crutch. It's not like, oh, I'll just fix it in Photoshop. If you can fix it, get up and go fix it before you bring it into Photoshop and having to spend more than 10-15 minutes on an image like this particularly. So okay, so now that we're done, let's see, turn it off and on. Yay. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna, let's see, start with another layer, curves adjustment, and I usually go into the color channels and take my blues up a little bit. Okay, let's see, down a little. Now the green channel is very temperamental, so I'd be very careful. Like the slightest touch can ruin an image. Like you have to be very subtle with the green channel, or I usually am. So here we go. Let's see. More red. Okay, here we go. Alright. And alright. Then I'm going to get myself an empty layer and go to edit, fill, and fill it with an orange yellow. So I guess this is more orange-ish. Okay. And screen. And I usually go from anywhere between 7 to 12% of this. And I play with either screen or lighten. I think lighten works better for me for this one here. And then I'm going to do another layer and fill it with sort of a navy bluish color. And go screen. And this also, I usually tend to do like 10 to 12% of it opacity. Here we go. Alright. And now another layer. And this, it's very temperamental. I usually go from anywhere from 2 to 5, maximum 7% of this. There you go, 3. Alright, and okay. Now that we've got that done, I get a brightness contrast layer. Pump up the contrast a little bit. There we go. And yeah. Well, the top mushroom right here looks a little blown out to me, even though it's really not, but my eye keeps drawing to it. So I'm going to give myself a layer in blend mode, soft light, and take the paint and 10% opacity for black and go over the mushroom a little bit. So that you're not taking down everything in the photo, but the parts that maybe bother you a little bit. Let's see. See, you can see the difference. Oops. There you go. Alright. And then another last curves layer, and here we go. There we go. Usually do that so there is no pure black in my photos. I kind of like that personally. So that's usually my workflow, and I try to, it's good practice to label your layers. I guess since I've done it so many times, I usually know how I work, but maybe if you say layer 1 was just spot healing or spot removal, so healing. So that way you know that what layer is what, just in case you end up with like 20 different layers. So you immediately know what you did, so you don't have to go one by one and click, oh, what did I do here, or whatnot. And for the last step, I'm do a merge visible layer on top. And this is to sharpen the image. Filter other high pass. I usually do it at 2-point sharpen and overlay. And we're done. Alright. I hope this helps you guys out. I hope this is an interesting way you guys would edit your photos. So let me know what you think. And if you try it out, tell me what your results were. If you liked it, you hated it. Alright. Thanks, guys.